This is reposted.
Larry, are you ready for some football?
I am ready for some football.
Woo! All right, we don't know if football is going to happen this fall or not, but we're going to look at a thought today from Vince Lombardi. He says, the price of success is hard work, dedication to the job at hand, and a determination that whether we win or lose, we've applied the best of ourselves to the task at hand. Don't give up, keep working, and you will persevere. Is that what you live by?
Okay, Andrew, we're going to have a great discussion today because I just think this is outstanding. First of all, I can't imagine me giving this speech to my kids and then looking back going like, huh? What are you talking about, Dad? What's going on here? But here's the thing about good old Vince Lombardi.
Yeah.
He was famous for his Green Bay Packers literally running 3 plays. It's like it was like, okay, they get in the huddle, they're like, okay, we're going to run right. We're going to run left. We're going to run up the middle. And that's all they did. It's like 3 plays.
Yeah.
So they just practiced 3 days. So when Vince Lombardi talks about working hard, he's talking about working hard at doing 3 things. Like that's it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm interested to know your opinion. In today's society, no, it's not that simple. Like my boss expects me to do 10 things at 10 different times. Like I don't have the luxury of just practicing 3 plays. So I feel like you got to be more half-ass these days and do lots of things than do 3 things really well.
Maybe that's a byproduct of how having multiple things to do is, and our thought that we can multitask. I always think that I'm a good multitasker, but I'm really not.
You are.
Well, thank you. But I guess kind of to talk about what you're saying is that, like, sure, back then 3 plays worked, and if they weren't successful, he probably would have added more plays in. But like when your boss tells you to do 10 different things, you're not going to do all 10 at once. So if you focus on the task at hand, which I don't know if he meant this because there was so few distractions back then, but like just focus on what you're doing right now, and then task.
That's impossible.
No,
that's it is. Listen, let me give you the example here. I'm not the greatest example, so I'm going to use my friend who's a bigwig at the city of Anaheim. He's a city planner there, right? So he's like meetings all day long.
Right.
All the while, his email inbox is piling up. Like
right.
He's expected to answer thousands of emails while he's managing people and listening to the city council. Now, his boss didn't say you need to do all of that, but he has to do all of that at the same time. Email is like the key factor. In this day's life, your boss expects you to be answering your email simultaneously while you're doing your job. Vince Lombardi just said run right or left.
I think people want that, and I think we put it on ourselves to try to answer things right away. But I would say that he's answering his emails not as successfully as he would if he waited till after he got out of his meeting, which I concede that like that's not the best way to live. But there is a way to do one thing at a time. Like when we first started this podcast, I'm trying to do a bunch of things all at once. And if I'm not focusing on like you or whoever we're talking to, it's the product goes down. I was multitasking, but it wasn't good.
Well, listen, I really, truly believe in my heart that Vince Lombardi is like living with Leave It to Beaver. Like it was simpler times, Andrew. You could work hard and get things done. I think that society has changed. We're supposed to do multiple things at a half-ass rate.
So you always say one of your superpowers is asking questions, and part of that is being completely present and wondering and being genuinely curious what the other person is saying. Are you answering emails when that's happening? Like to do that at the highest level, you need to be doing one thing.
Well, I mean, that's like when I'm with someone like in person and sort of socially. I don't think you can. I mean, in a perfect world, Andrew, I think you and Vince Lombardi have the right idea.
Right.
Work hard at what you're doing, but I just feel like we've created this place where you just can't get everything done if you just do one thing at a time.
Yeah.
It's impossible.
So I guess maybe the takeaway for everyone today is give up. Go take a nap and eat some ice cream.
No, I think it's still possible to work hard. I think you really, back to what you were saying, is you got to have a strategy. I think you got to work smart, not hard. Some big ogre used to tell me that all the time. Work smart, not hard. And so I think you really do have to strategize for your day, how you're going to approach your email, your calls, your boss, all of those things, and come up with that plan and then try to execute that as best you can. By the way, because that's what Vince Lombardi did, they would execute 3 plays. So I think we're talking about execution.
Yeah, I'm not saying that you can't get distracted and you're not going to lose your focus, but if you want to set yourself up for success, try to focus on one thing at a time, and I think you're going to do it better if you're only doing one thing at a time. Reality comes into play, and you're in meetings all day, and you're answering emails, and sometimes there's a quality drop off when you do that, and you perform at your highest level and in an ideal situation when you're only focusing on that one thing, I think.
And I feel like you're living in a simpler time, Andrew. I feel like you're watching Mr. Ed. Maybe you're going to a sock hop dance. I feel like you're living in a pastime.
Maybe. I mean, do you think you do things better when you're only focused on, I don't know, maybe we're only hammering on the end.
No. I do. I agree with the heart of what you're saying and Vince Lombardi saying. I agree with that.
Yeah.
I totally agree. You definitely do things better when you're only doing one at a time. But that's just not what is expected. By the way, think of like working moms now. They got to raise kids. They got to go to work. They got to try to have friends. My wife is the prime example of this. To do all of those things at the same time in life is impossible. And I bet most moms say they're failing all the time because they're trying to do all these things. But there's no other option at this point.
Yeah, we're in completely different situations with you having 3 kids and me
What?
not.
3 kids?
Right. Okay, so one more thing.
Okay.
Yes, you are getting distracted, but maybe further back or at the beginning of this quote, dedication to the job at hand. You say your wife is balancing friends, work, and your kids, but I would argue that she has complete dedication to your kids, and while she might think that she's not operating at the highest she can, I think just having that thought means that she's dedicated to it and she's going to be successful.
Don't ask my kids if she's dedicated to them. Don't ask them. Shh. Don't ask them.
All right. Well, I'm going to start multitasking and focusing on other things right now. If you have a quote you'd like us to further explore, please reach out. You can find us at Reposted Podcast on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I'm Andrew Keller for Brett Favre saying, thanks for stopping by.